Hey everybody, it's Justice for Comics. It is Friday. It is time to review the Hot 10 list from CBSI, comicbookinvest.com. This list comes out basically every Friday afternoon, and it's compilation of books that are doing well in the secondary market, books that are on the move. Some of them are older books, some of them are newer, but this week's list has a lot of new books on there. So let's jump into it here and review what we've got going on here with the Hot 10 list this week. All right, so let me zoom in a little bit here. And we'll start off with the honorable mentions. Hit Comics number 7, a Lou Fine cover. It says here, what an odd cover. Like you almost don't see the giant blue skull in the background. That's true, there is one. And why is our hero wearing see-through sleeves? Anyway, a raw 3.0 copy sold this week for $2,200. This book doesn't come up often, as a GPA only reports 3 graded sales for as long as their database goes back. So again, these are golden age, kind of oddball books, you know, not Marvel or DC. These are just some strange books that because they're old and not very many of them out there. Who knows what the print run was on these books back in the day? No one will ever know. And how many of them have existed and made their way into 2021? Probably not a lot, right? So, you know, these books keep getting bid up in price. And that is one that, it's a cool cover, no doubt. Next one is Storm number 3, the Stephanie Hans 1 in 25 variant. Yeah, that's a cool cover, no doubt about it. It's probably pretty tough to find. A 1 in 25 on a title that probably didn't have a lot of orders. Maybe the first issue, a lot of shops might have ordered decently on the first issue, but by issue number 3, yeah, no way. There's not going to be a lot of orders on that book. So it's selling around $100 right now. I could see that going higher. I mean, I don't know if there's anything significant in the book other than it's a cool looking cover, but that sometimes is all you need. There's lots of books that are worth money only because of the cover. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. I wish I had it in my collection, but I do not. All right, let's start off with number 10. Marauders, number 19. This is the Finch 1 in 25 variant. Kitty Pryde cover. Probably going to be hard to find, right? Not too many shops are ordering 25A covers to get one of these. It's already selling in the $40 to $50 range. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. Finch, good artist. I don't think this comic book series is all that great, but somebody's probably reading it. I don't know. I don't know anybody that is, but it's going to have value just because of how scarce it is, right? There's just probably not a lot of those out there, floating around out there. All right, number 9 is Geiger number 1. Jeff Johns, Gary Frank, new book. This is the regular A cover. I do have this in my collection. I believe I have this on pre-order coming from DCBS service. Should be getting that pretty soon. I think I ordered this one, and also there is a C cover, I think, by Fabok that's really nice. But yeah, it's selling for about $15 right now, the regular A cover. It makes the 9 spot on the list. And yeah, Jeff Johns, Gary Frank, they're a good team. You know, they did all the Doomsday Clock comic series that did fairly well. I mean, I think what plagued them was delays, but still a good team. I like the writing of Jeff Johns, and definitely the artistry of Gary Frank, I think, is on point. So I see that book doing pretty well. You see a lot of these creators now are getting away from Marvel and DC. They're doing more independence. They pocket more of the return. They control the property licensing, all that good stuff, so that later on, if Hollywood comes knocking, that's how these guys retire and sit on a mountain of cash. It's the ability to get royalties, right? That's the name of the game. All right, so number 9 is Geiger, number 1. Number 8 is Death by Life, number 1. It just so happens that I got that book today in the mail. My Midtown order came in today, so there it is. I grabbed this off of Midtown. I just thought the cover looked really cool. I have no idea what this is about. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but man, that's a really cool looking cover. Just crazy detail on this cover. I mean, look at this cover. So yeah, I've got a really nice Midtown order in this week. That was one of them, Death by Life, number 1. And that is your 8th spot on the list. Selling about $15 to $20. Says here, Death Becomes Alive, ? Interesting premise, I think. I'm sure the print run is very small on this one, but does this have legs to stand on long term? What do you say? Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, independent books don't have the best track record. I do think the cover on this is really awesome, and it's a hot book right now. Don't feel too upset if you missed it. If you wait 3-4 weeks, maybe a couple months, you could easily find this probably getting closer to cover again. So, I mean, I've seen this happen time and time again. Unless the print run is so tight and low that you're not going to find a lot of copies out there. But yeah, I mean, the shops by me, there's no way they got this book in. No way. So I was very lucky and fortunate to grab one. I just think the cover's pretty cool. All right, the next one is Tankers, number 1. That's on your 7th spot. Same company that brought us ENIAC. Of course, ENIAC number 1 exploded last month. That was a $4.99 book that I think it sells over $100 still, $150 maybe. So this one's selling about $50. It's a cool looking cover. I got one today from Midtown. Yeah, I mean, what's not to like about it? It's cool, really cool looking cover. I have not read this yet. Let's see if the quality of the interior looks pretty. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good art inside too. So this looks like a nice book. Nice high quality cover. I mean, this is what I wish Marvel would do. DC does a good job on their B covers. Their A covers are not very good, but so DC tries to come out with a premium product. Of course, they charge an extra $1 for it. But yeah, I mean, bad idea. I think they're a good comic book company so far. They're definitely printing on high quality paper, similar to a Boom Studios. I'm not going to... sometimes IDW prints on pretty good paper. Most of the time they don't. But yeah, I like this Tankers number 1. It looks pretty good. So I'm digging this. I think that will be a good one to have in the collection. So that is your 7th spot on the list. It says here, for those wondering about ENIAC number 2, there is a certain major retailer that still has them at cover price if you act fast. I think I think he's talking about Midtown. I believe Midtown still has ENIAC number 2 on their website, but possibly I think I checked a few days ago and they still had it there. I just got that in the mail too, ENIAC number 2. I like that series. I just read the 2nd issue and it's good. It's pretty cool. I like it. All right, number 6 is Invincible, number 110. Kirkman, Ryan Otley. This book is jumping up to $100 from the $50 to $60 range. I don't know much about this series. I'm not somebody who collected Invincible. I'm not a big Kirkman fan, but for those that own it, congratulations. I guess there is some key, I don't know, this might be a key issue. I don't know anything about Invincible. I think I read the first 10 issues. I thought it was okay. That's pretty much what I think of Kirkman's writing. It's okay. He doesn't, The Walking Dead, I think, is the best he's ever done. I don't think he'll come close to that again, but that's just my opinion. All right, Fantastic Four, number 353. So the Disney Plus series, why is this going up? Owen Wilson's character
Mobius M. Mobius, oh, what a name, how original, will be a staple in the Loki show. As such, the price of raw copies has jumped from $25 to $30 up to $60 to $75. Not to be puny, but honestly, what is the end game with all these Marvel side characters? Should anyone be buying into them for a long term? No, you should not. If you have this in your collection and you want to sell it for $60 to $75, I would do so right now. There is no long-term appeal to this book. That character is not a character that I think people are going to want to track down, other than right now the release of that trailer. The show looks pretty good. I mean, it sounds interesting, kind of like somebody who's manipulating the time stream, and Loki is a key player in the time stream, I guess. So it looks like an interesting show, but I would not be paying high price for this book. If you find this at a dollar bin, which you could easily do, I would list it on eBay right now. That would be my suggestion. Maybe get it graded. Who knows? Maybe someone will pay you extra money for the grading. Number 4 is Nottingham. Number 2. This is a new series. I just so happened to get that issue today in the mail from Midtown, Mad Cave Studios. We'll see. Mad Cave has had a bunch of books do well initially in the past, where they go up in value. I can think of several just off the top of my head. That one, what's the one? The Angel and Demons one. I can't remember that one. Shoot, yeah, right off the top of my head. There's several though from Mad Cave that have jumped up initially when they came out, and then over time the price comes right back down. So I have no idea if this is going to happen with this series, but hey, I got it for cover price. I am not paying a premium. I did miss the first issue. I do have a second print coming that I ordered off of Things from Another World, but I am not going to go out and spend $30, $40 for the first print of number 1. So I missed it. No big deal. I did grab number 2 at least. So apparently that book's also blowing up in price right now, selling for $50. Wow, jeez, it's crazy. I literally just had that on my pull list like a week ago. So there you go. Nottingham number 2, a $50 book. Ben says, honestly, am I missing something? You might be. I mean, obviously it probably has a low print run. Mad Cave is notorious for having low print runs anyways. But yeah, if you find it on a store shelf, you may want to grab it. Grab a couple if they've got a stack of them. Buy them up, put them on eBay, make a little coin. Nothing wrong with that. Number 3 is Young Avengers number 1. A lot of first appearances in this book. It's a key book. This was a book for a long time after it came out. Did nothing. I mean, I have 1 through 12 of this series. I have every issue, the 12 issues. And I had it for sale one time on eBay for like $30, and no one bought it. So eventually the listing just fell off, and thank God it did, because I would have been pretty mad at myself if I had sold this. So yeah, this is a key book. 9/8 are hitting $1,200 right now. So it says here, hypothetically speaking, is this the giant-sized X-Men number 1 of this generation? Good question. I don't know. This book has exploded. A very high grade is tough. It's a black cover. My copy, I think, is 9.6. I think it would grade 9.6. I don't know. 9.8's tough to get a 9.8 in that book. But yeah, if you've got a really high grade copy, probably not a bad idea to get that graded and slabbed. And I would just hold on to it. A lot of key first appearances in that issue. And, you know, trying to think long term, that book could still go a lot higher in price. So I would be a holder of Young Avengers number 1. Number 2 is Black Adam Endless Winter number 1, the Boss Logic cover. Ben says, don't get me wrong, I love this cover. Increasing this week from $8 to $10 last week to $50 to $60 this week seems a bit extreme. Then again, maybe not. Maybe The Rock will be able to save the DC universe. Well, I think there is a lot riding on that new movie. the Justice League Zack Snyder cut, from what I hear, has not done very well. It did not add a lot of monetary value to HBO. So, yeah. Black Adam hopefully is the shot in the arm that DC needs to kind of revamp and get their movies going again. Obviously, we have Aquaman 2 going to be coming out at some point. I have a lot of hopes that Black Adam, that movie is going to be really good. This is a cool cover. Definitely a low print run just because it was a B cover and there were a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people knew about this book. So I pre-ordered a copy and then got a second copy off of GrahamCrackers.com, which is just an online store. So I've got two beautifully mint copies, probably both 9/8. Haven't seen any of these graded yet, but that's the next thing that will happen is you'll see a couple 9/8s go up for sale on eBay. Probably going to be in the $300 to $400 range initially is what I'm guessing. So it's a white cover. I don't think this will be tough to get a 9/8 on. I mean, my copies look perfect. Remember, DC, this is their B cover, so they use a very nice thick cardstock cover. So I don't, if this was a flimsy white cover, then yeah, condition would be an issue. But I don't think it'll be too hard to get 9/8s on this. So yeah, it's a cool cover. Boss Logic, I mean, he's got a very good following now in the cover art department, and I see this book continuing to do well. So is this going to go back down? I think it will fall back down a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if it drops down to maybe $30 to $40 level, but I don't really see it going below $30. So if you're hoping it goes back down to the $8 to $10 price range, yeah, don't hold your breath on that. I think you're going to be waiting a while. Number one is Berserker. Number one, the second printing. I was not able to get this book, unfortunately. Most of the sites sold out very quickly on this. It's a cool foil looking cover. That's why it doesn't show up very well here on the screen, I guess. I don't know. It's not a very good picture that CBSI took and posted there. I don't know what happened there, but just basically looks like a black cover. Initially, yeah, this was hitting $200 like a week ago. And now it's in the $50 to $75 range. So, of course, after FOMO dies off a little bit, the price is going back down. I don't know. If you really want to own this book, I would wait a little while, maybe a couple months. Yes, this Netflix show is coming out. Yes, Keanu Reeves is going to be starring in it, most likely, as far as we know. I think the second printing is a little overdone. Obviously, the first print was printed like a lot. I think 650,000 copies is what I heard the print run was for issue number one. This is definitely a lower print run, so that's why the price is so high. But I think if you wait a few months, I think the price on this is going to drop down to that $25 to maybe $40 level, right in that range. So give it a little bit of time. I think you could, get a little better pricing on that. So I didn't do too bad this week, guys. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 10. That's 60%. That's pretty good. So I got 6 out of the top 10. The other book I got in today from Midtown that I'm very, very pleased and glad that I picked up is my Jenny Frison. It's Frison Friday. That is the Power Rangers Unlimited Heir to Darkness number 1. That is the 1 in 50 incentive cover. I grabbed one off of Midtown for, it wasn't cheap. It was definitely more than $50. I missed, the Boom Studios had some copies on their website. My good friend Infamous, Chasing Comics on Instagram, he sent me a little note saying, hey, you may want to grab one of these, and I got it. I just didn't act on it fast enough, unfortunately. It sold out very quickly. He got a couple copies for $50 each, which is fantastic. I paid way more than that, but I still did really well. I paid $135 for this book.
But right now, if you go on eBay, there's only 4 or 5 listings, and I think the lowest price I saw was $400. And there is somebody that's asking $5,000 for this book. So I don't know that they're going to get that, and they're going to charge you $1 shipping. I thought that was pretty funny. So reduced shipping costs of only $1, but $5,000 for this. So low print run. There's no doubt about it. Most comic book shops order very light on Power Rangers. Power Rangers, they do have a following. You know, there's people that buy Power Rangers comic books. Obviously, they keep making them. But to the tune of ordering 50 A covers to get one of these, yeah, most shops are not going to do that. I think Midtown only had one, because as soon as I put it in my pull list and I went back to look at it, it showed that it was gone. So I believe I was the only one that got this from Midtown. Either that or maybe they had 2 copies, but you know, it went pretty fast. So I was lucky enough to be able to grab one. There were some copies on eBay a couple weeks ago in the 200, maybe $175 to $200 range. Those went pretty quickly, and as soon as the $400 copies sell, which I think eventually they will, I think you could see this book raw probably $500 to $600, and graded. When the graded CGC copies hit eBay, don't be surprised if they're going to be $800 to $1,000 or more. I have no doubt that will happen. And when people start to see those prices, this book's only going to get hotter. So, it is probably the best Frizzen cover I've seen in a long time. It's fantastic. The coloring, it's just, yeah, it's a beaut. No doubt about it. Very, very nice. So that's it, guys. That's what I had for you. That's your Hot 10 list for the week. Don't be surprised if you see this pop up again, this Frizzen cover. I'm pretty sure that will pop up on the Hot 10 list going forward. I wouldn't be surprised if that shows up maybe next week. We'll see. But that's it. That's what I had for you. I might do a live stream this weekend, so stay tuned. If I do, I'll send out notification. Everyone, I hope you guys have a great Friday and a great rest of the weekend. I'll see you soon.